A team the Phillies have struggled with all season is playing their best baseball of 2014 and weren't slowed down last night when the visitors arrived at Citi Field. Metropolitan offense was clicking early and cashed in with demoralizing big swings. Game 2 may have a different look with one of the hottest pitchers of the second half taking the mound and doing so tonight for your Phils. So what would you do for a foul ball before batting practice? Well, the Phillies fans who are up here at Citi Field, they asked, and oh, then you just got to keep on your toes. And that's what happens when you come to the ballpark. You never know what you're going to see. It's game 2 of a 3-game series between the Phils and the New York Mets. All right, so the Phillies are 3-7 so far this year against the New York Mets. You can look at these numbers, and they'll tell a lot of the story. Neither team is really hitting the long ball, but the Mets are certainly scoring runs because they're picking up a lot of extra base hits. In fact, they've outscored the Phillies 53-30. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Matt Stairs. We'll talk offense with Matt in a little bit, but on the Mets side, now let's talk a little pitching with Jamie because Cole Hamels gets the start tonight. Cole has been one of the best pitchers, despite his win-loss record, in the National League the last 2 months.
He has, and if we look back to spring training, there were a lot of questions regarding Cole Hamels. And we've come a long way thinking about that, and you look where he's come since he's come back off the DL this season. It is just amazing where he's come from, and it's also amazing the numbers that he's putting up here right before our eyes. And here you're seeing some great highlights from his previous start against the Giants. And again, he's very dominant, but what he's really starting to do is utilize the whole strike zone from top to bottom with his fastball, goes through the bottom of the zone with his breaking ball, and he's just been fabulous in his last 4 starts.
All right, his kryptonite so far in his career seems to be the New York Mets. You see his last couple of starts, 18 strikeouts and 14 innings of work. His win-loss record overall against the Mets, not that great during his career. He'll have to contend with a guy that everybody thought would be catching Cole Hamels at one point. That's Travis d'Arnaud. Now, Matt, Travis d'Arnaud found his way to New York after the Phillies traded him to the Toronto Blue Jays in the Roy Halladay deal. He was basically the centerpiece of that deal. And then he comes to New York. He wasn't necessarily the centerpiece in the R.A. Dickey deal, but it was a 7-player deal, and the Mets feel like they've got their catcher for the next 15 years.
Well, he's a guy last night that we saw in the game. He gets an opportunity against A.J. with a hanging curveball, drives it to left field for a home run, for a big home run, for a 3-run home run. He's getting confidence. He's hitting these mistakes where early in the season he was probably rolling over or wasn't swinging at these balls that were right down the middle. Here you see a double to left center. For me, the biggest thing for him is early in the season he wasn't getting regular playing time. And it's amazing when all of a sudden you get a lot of bats, you start getting confidence. You start believing in yourself. And one thing is, early in the season, if you go 0 for 3, you're worried if you're going to play or not. Now, if he goes 0 for 3, he knows he's the #1 catcher. Doesn't matter. He doesn't put pressure on himself. He relaxes. And this was his 20th start tonight in the month of July.
Yeah, 288 batting average in July. But if you go back to his return from AAA, he's hitting over 300 for the Mets. So it is game 2 of this 3-game series. Cole Hamels will get the baseball, his 19th start. He'll be opposed by Dylan G, who's made 3 starts, is coming back from the disabled list. His last 2, he's allowed 10 earned runs in 10 innings of work. And the Phillies will have some guys back in the lineup here tonight. Grady Sizemore and Chase Utley both find themselves back in the starting 9. When we return, lineups and first pitch from Citi Fields. Phillies baseball is brought tonight's game clean and start fresh here tonight against right-hander Dylan G. Ryan Sandberg's lineup is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And we'll take a look at that. Leading it off at center field is Ben Revere. Batting second is the shortstop Jimmy Rollins. Chase Utley hits third, followed by Ryan Howard and Carlos Ruiz. Grady Sizemore's back in the lineup in right field. He'll bat sixth. Hitting seventh in left field is Dominic Brown. Cody Ashew will bat eighth. And batting ninth in pitching is left-hander Cole Hamels. And they'll face righty Dylan G. Jamie, tell us everything you know about Dylan G.
Well, Dylan G's coming back. He's only got 11 starts coming back from a lat strain. And since he's come back, he really hasn't gotten himself back on track. He's going to feature 5 pitches tonight. Fastball, curveball, cut fastball, slider, and a changeup. And he's got a 4-3 record with a 3.49 ERA and 3-3 lifetime against the Phillies.
Our Budweiser scouting report. It's a high earned run average. It's 7.15 against the Phillies. There you take a look at the scouting report brought to you by Budweiser that Jamie was talking about. So 5 pitches, huh?
That's what he's going to feature. Yeah, he doesn't throw his cutter a whole lot, but he has it. He has one.
Revere takes outside. One ball and 2 strikes to Revere. Ben hitting .297, a home run, 12 runs batted in. He has 92 singles on the year. Look out. That ball is coming in hot.
I do know that this is an arm that the Mets have really been counting on. As a young kid that's come through their system, and they're very high on him.
He makes a nice play there. I don't know if he robbed Revere of the hit or not because Murphy was heading that way, but he makes sure he retires Ben Revere quickly. So 1 out.
Well, here's what you do as a pitcher. You get yourself in somewhat of a fielding position. He wasn't completely square to home plate, but he was in good enough position to lasso in that firmly hit ball back through the middle.
Good reactions. That'll bring Jimmy Rollins to the play. Rollins hitting .239, 13 home runs, 46 runs batted in. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1.
I will say Ben looked a little gingerly getting out of the box.
Yeah, it just seems like that foot continues to bother him. He fouled the ball off that foot a few weeks ago. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
2 very good curveballs right there, right out of the chute.
Rollins pulls it to the right side. Eric Campbell is there. 2 quick outs. All right, Matt, 8 pitches, and there are 2 outs here in the first.
Well, and one thing they said today that his last 2 outings, his fastball has been up in the zone. So he's going to throw more curveballs today, figuring that it'd make his fastball much better. And when you continue throwing fastball after fastball and they were getting hit hard, and like I said, now he's going to start mixing some off-speed pitches and keep the hitters off balance.
Well, those off-speed pitches should help his release point, too, to help get his fastball down in the zone.
Chase Utley had last night off. Utley is hitting 5 straight here at Citi Field, and he takes a pitch low. 1 ball, no strikes. Utley with 31 career home runs against the Mets. His average of .291 for the year, 8 home runs, 50 runs batted in. To the right side, so 3 ground balls. Dylan G has a very easy top of the first. Nothing across for the Phils. Pretty quick inning. We go to the bottom of the first. Cole Hamels gets set to go to work for the Phillies. Harry Collins' starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. It'll be Granderson, Murphy, and Wright, followed by Eric Campbell, Chris Young, and Travis d'Arnaud. The bottom third of Juan Lagares, Wilmer Flores, and Dylan G, who's 0 for 16, by the way, this year. And they'll face Phillies left-hander Cole Hamels. Hamels 5-5. You got to kind of look past the 5-5 record. Look at all the other numbers. 125 strikeouts and 122 and a third. The opposition's hitting only .230 against him. Those are the numbers, Matt, that really stand out.
They really are, and he's changed his approach now. He's establishing the fastball early in the game and not making adjustments until they start hitting it. And as you can see, the Budweiser scouting report, the 90 to 93, well, you better throw a 95 on there because he's been averaging about 95 the last couple outings and 3 other pitches, and he has not a very good record versus the Mets in his career.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising that he has struggled so much against the Mets at 7-14. Curtis Granderson's 2 for 4 lifetime against Hamels. Fly ball foul over the Phillies dugout and over Murph's head. Murph, I think all of us up here in the booth were very comfortable that if that ball was about 20 feet south, you would have caught it.
I did call for it, so
yeah,
I thought I had it,
or at least an opportunity for it. Outside, 1-2. Murph actually has a very good seat to watch these games. That's a really good vantage point where you are, that inside part of the dugouts.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I'm literally about 30 feet from home plate. It's a terrific place to watch.
You should ask Steven, the bat boy, if you could take the baseballs out to the umpire one time.
I'll see if he'll let me.
I don't think they would notice.
Although this metal platform's not great for day games, I'll tell you that.
Oh, are you prepping us for tomorrow?
Well, I'm just saying.
Off the glove of Hamels, picked up by Utley, throws to first, not in time. Well, give Granderson credit. He was hustling the entire time. He had been 3 for his last 27. And we'll see if Ryan Sandberg wants to come up the stairs and discuss this play. Howard's saying he was safe, so they're not going to bother. That was awfully close.
Was close.
I don't know what you guys think. Boy, I thought he was out.
Thought he was safe.
Matt, you're the deciding vote.
Safe.
Oh, man. Daniel Murphy takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Sorry, Tom.
Murphy 2 for 4 with a couple doubles in yesterday's game. Also had an RBI and a run scored. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Phillies set up to try to turn 2 to get out of this inning. Murphy and David Wright have the most ABs against Hamels. Combined, they have 117 at bats against him. 1-2. All right, boys, it's time now for our Nissan keys to tonight's ball game.
My key is for Cole to continue his dominant pitching. He's thrown the ball very well since he's come back, or actually in his last 11 starts.
And mine is simple. Ryan Howard has tremendous numbers versus Dylan G, so continue being hot against him.
Not only for his own sake, but for the team's sake.
Correct.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Murphy. Out towards center field. It's not that deep. Revere got a real late start coming on. He makes the diving catch. Thank goodness he was able to make that catch. 1 out. It is a big center field that he's playing awfully deep, and he froze.
Yeah, it is, and the ball was hit off the end of the bat. And, a lot of times outfielders will get fooled by the size of the swing and either take a step back or freeze, but once he gets going, he can roll, and made a nice play.
I think last night's first at bat by Murphy, where he drilled one over his head, is total opposite of that one right there. There's David Wright hitting .275. Over 400 against left-handed pitching. Got to play 0-1. Curveball. First curveball of the night, and it was a good one. I think it kind of surprised David Wright.
As I mentioned, in Cole's last 11 starts from June 1st through July 24th, he's 4-2 with 77 2/3 innings pitched and 24 walks, 81 strikeouts.
That ball's playable in the alley for Revere. 2 outs. During the 2014 season, Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the Phillies, will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs.
In a 1.74 ERA, left-handed hitters are batting .152 against him, and right-handers are batting .226.
Dominance.
So I think the numbers really explain it all. And if you look, when he first came back from his injury, he just wasn't sharp. He didn't have the arm strength. He's now built that back up. We talked a lot about that early in the season, and I think there are no questions about Cole's health at this point.
Well, now Eric Campbell's the batter, and Campbell takes a fastball up, or fastball for a strike, excuse me. 0-1. Well, and you're right, Jamie, about the numbers. They don't lie. They're telling a pretty good story. The Phillies offense, 10 runs during his last 5 starts. So they're averaging just 2 runs per game in Hamels' outings. He's won back-to-back 2-1 ball games.
And that's what you're looking for the ace of your staff to do, to be able to pitch under any type of circumstances.
Well, he doesn't have to face Lucas Duda tonight. He's facing Eric Campbell instead. Duda's 1 for 13 against Hamels with 7 strikeouts. It's not a bad spot with that pitch, that fastball 0-2.
And one thing, going back to his last start, Cole only threw about 2.5–3% cutters. He's establishing that 4-seam fastball and that front door sinker, and that's why a lot of guys are getting frozen looking in there.
There's also a reason why he's not throwing as many cutters. He's starting to throw his 2-seam fastball far more, and he's using his 4-seam fastball as a put-away pitch.
Because it's at 94, 95, sort of up in the zone.
Exactly. I think he's gained a lot of confidence in his 2-seam fastball.
A line drive base hit into right field. Brady Sizemore has it. So 2 hits in the inning against Hamels. We talk about Hamels' ERA, and we take a look at our Mazda leaders since May 11th. This is all Major League Baseball. His earned run average is 5th. Now, Felix Hernandez has had an incredible year at 1.62 for Seattle. But Hamels is right there with the leaders. That's the kind of numbers an ace puts up. Chris Young 1 for 4 last night with a run scored and a base hit. Fastball in there. Young overall hitting .208 with 8 home runs, 27 runs batted in. Way inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Curveball sailed away.
When that happens, that's just missing the opportunity to let your hand catch up to your body. His body got out in front of his arm, and he was not able to recover, and that ball ends up popping out.
That may have been a cutter right there, Matt.
Yeah, I think it was 89, but we're kind of seeing a little different style of pitching against the Mets compared to his last outing against Atlanta Braves, where at one time he threw, 23 or 24 consecutive fastballs. And now today you're seeing everything except for we haven't seen a changeup yet.
Which is kind of like against the Giants, where he waited to use the changeup. Outside. And there was the first changeup. It's 3-2. The runners will be off. Second changeup.
We should always check with Jamie because he's the pitch guy.
I don't get them all right, but I get the majority of them right.
Did you get your pencil sharpened tonight?
I do. Got 3 sharp pencils.
Popped him up. Out of play. Matt has 2, but one pencil whose lead keeps popping out. But oh, you fixed it.
Crazy glue.
I got plenty of backups for your partner.
It'd be great to see you sitting there with crazy glue. Runners will be off with the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes and 2 outs. Got him. Ruiz hangs on. First strikeout for Hamels, number 126 for the season. Well, it took a lot of pitches, but Hamels gets through the first. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. Ryan Howard to lead it off when we return. Citizens Bank Park beginning Friday, August 8th. It's the 4-game series that includes 2 day games at the end. Game number 1, all fans will receive that giveaway, the Roy Halladay Bobble figurine. You can get tickets by going to Phillies.com. We also invite you to come out on Saturday night. Let's load that place up for Charlie Manuel. He's being inducted into the Phillies Wall of Fame. 7:05 first pitch. The ceremonies will take place prior to the game. All right, Matt, let's see if your key can explode right here with Ryan Howard starting things off in the top of the second. And G starts him off with a breaking ball. It's 0-1. Ryan was hitless in 5 at-bats last night. Well, Dylan G's no dummy. He knows what Ryan Howard's done against him. He just threw him back-to-back curveballs.
Yeah, but Ryan's only 9 for 18 with 6 home runs.
I guess that would be considered owning a pitcher. Pulls that one into the shift. He took something off that pitch, and there's one out. Carlos Ruiz is coming up. This is usually where Marlon Byrd, Murph, is batting for the Phils, but he's getting a night off tonight.
As you can imagine, that news kind of created some buzz around the Phillies dugout at about 3:30 this afternoon. But Ryne Sandberg saying that, no, he'd been looking for a chance to get Marlon a night off. He's played in all but 5 games this season. So in addition to fouling a ball off his foot late in last night's game, he put those 2 things together, decided to give him the day off as Carlos ropes that one in the left field for a base hit. But Marlon probably not all that excited about sitting here at Citi Field. Lifetime .318 hitter, and he has been hot in his last 10 games, batting .362. We remember he had 4 hits last night, batting .362 in his last 10 games. But Ryne Sandberg says, got to get a guy off his feet every now and then, and tonight was not Marlon's night.
Yeah, Ryan. When Ryan was asked about it today, right, Murph? There was a lot of people who thought, well, is he potentially being traded? And
sure.
Ryne Sandberg just laughed. And just as Murph explained it, went through the whole storyline as to why he's sitting here tonight.
But certainly 2 days before the trade deadline, you can understand why folks were thinking that when Marlon Byrd wasn't in the lineup today.
Brady Sizemore takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Well, and I think the odd thing is that, I don't know, if I go 4 for 4 last night, I'm fighting to get back in the lineup tonight. And the older guys kind of like to have the day games off. To play the night game, know it's a 12-10 game tomorrow.
You wonder if Jimmy Rollins will, if you continue with this cycle, if Rollins will have tomorrow off. Utley off yesterday, Byrd off today. Rollins and maybe Howard both off for tomorrow's day game. One ball, one strike to Sizemore. Sizemore lines it foul. Eric Campbell nearly caught that ball into foul territory.
He did. It was a fastball way, hooked it, but he almost caught it. But Carlos Ruiz did a better job of base running and freezing and coming back towards first on a foul ball.
A high fastball, and that's the first strikeout for G. 2 outs. Dominic Brown's coming up. Get all your Philly sports news and scores when you're on the go. Be the first to know breaking news on all your Philly teams. Trade deadline almost upon us. It would be good for you to download the free CSN Sports app today and do it right to your smartphone. With 2 outs and Ruiz at first, Dominic Brown is the hitter, 1 for 4 with a double yesterday. Seven home runs, 49 runs batted in. Talked about his numbers recently. Over his last 21 games, he's hitting .290. One thing about Dylan G, he does have good command. I mean, I know they said he's rusty coming off the disabled list, but every time we see him, even though his numbers are high against the Phillies, he has innings where his command is very good.
One thing that I feel like I've noticed this year with the Mets, I really feel like they get amped up to play the Phillies. Not that they don't against any other team, but I just sense there's something in the air here when the Mets play the Phillies, especially here at home.
I think it's called hatred.
Well, it's so close in proximity between the two teams. You can get from Philadelphia to here in about 2 hours. A little bit longer with the train and the stops on New Jersey Transit. Dominic lofts that one on one hop off Murphy and into shallow right field. That'll be the 13th error of the season for Daniel Murphy. Well, I think it is an error, but that is a tough error, the way this ball kind of whoop.
As a hitter, you're hoping. But, you know, it's the big leagues. You're supposed to make that play.
Well, a chance for the Phils to score here with runners on first and second. Cody Ashe, 1 for 4 last night, will be the hitter. I should say 0 for 4. Cody's now 0 for his last 9. One ball, no strikes. Off the end of the bat. G has it. He nearly sailed the throw, but Campbell hangs on to the bag. 1-3 on the putout. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. There was 1 Mets error. Middle of the second, Phillies nothing, and the Mets nothing. August 18th for a 3-game series. 2 night games. That second night game, all fans will receive the Ryan Howard bobblehead. Wednesday the 20th is a Citizens Bank Business Person Special. Tickets can be purchased like any other series by going to Phillies.com. Last of the second. Mets with 2 hits. The Phillies with 1 hit. Cole Hamels will go back to work against Travis d'Arnaud. JB, Cole said after his last start that conditioning, stretching, a couple of factors led to the 95-mile-an-hour fastball. I guess it was just a shock because he went from one start to another, and the 95 was more consistent.
Yeah, it's interesting how that's kind of come on. But again, I do agree and believe that his arm strength is continuing to get better. And it's, you know, I think he's reached the point where he's now ready to go. I mean, obviously it doesn't take 20 starts, but from where he started this season, so far behind the 8 ball in spring training. I remember he tried to throw a couple times, it didn't work. They backed him off. Let's try it again. It's not working. Now it's going to sit him. So he sat for a while, and then they started all over. And that's a process, and it takes time.
Oh, 1 pitches inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Now tonight his fastball has hit 94. I don't know if it's hit 95, but last game it even hit 96 once or twice.
Oh, and I do believe radar guns can be off a mile or two. You know, again, we always talk, regardless of what the velocity is, the hitter dictates what kind of stuff you have. And so far, I think you know, the hitters have dictated that Cole has pretty good stuff. Maybe not the electric stuff he had against the Giants, but throws the ball pretty well.
Well, that ball was smoked off a seat down the left field line and into the waiting hands of that gentleman. Fortunately, it hit a vacant seat and not a little toddler who was walking right next to that vacant seat. He was back to the game.
He was about 2 seats away from
wow. Just missed it side. 3-2. There was that little toddler. think it ricocheted off the side of that gentleman's noggin. Fly ball down the right field line. That'll slice out of play. Oh man! But you see the youngster with the red shirt. Look, he's back to the game. Fortunately, the dad realized at the last moment and sort of covered the youngster up. 3-2 pitch off the end of the bat, foul. Swing and a miss and a changeup. 2 strikeouts for Hamels. Well, let's take a look at our current weather conditions, brought to you by Oliver Heating and Cooling. Visit oliverheatcool.com. What a pleasant night. 73 degrees. We are toward the end of July, aren't we? 73. No humidity whatsoever. Here's Lagares. Lagares 2 for 4 in last night's game. On the glove side, Ashe's got it. Little pirouette. And there are 2 outs.
Well, Cole needed that right there. In the 7 at bats so far, or actually the first 6 at bats, he's had 5 pitchers or more, except for 1 at bat, and that's why his pitch count has been somewhat escalated here. So to get a 1 pitch out here with Lagares takes him up to 34 pitches. And that's the thing that kind of runs you out of a game. You run out of pitches as you get into the 6th and 7th inning.
Well, Flores takes a strike. By the way, guys, if you want to get Terry Collins upset, I don't know how you guys feel about Terry Collins. I don't know if you know him at all. Do you know him, Matt?
Yeah.
JB, do you know him at all?
I don't really know him that well.
This one is looped out towards center. Well, if you want to get him upset, ask him about the Wilmer Flores Ruben Tejada sort of altering at shortstop. Apparently he's tired of answering those questions. He got a little upset today during his press conference.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did. Folks are wondering, about Flores playing tonight with his .218 average. I mean, Tejada's not a whole lot better. But Terry Collins, I guess, is upset about all the questions about his lineups. Dylan G is swinging a miss. It's 0-1.
Well, I guess you could be like a player sometimes and say, no more talking to the media. That wouldn't go over so well, would it?
I don't think that would go over well at all. Maybe you can do it tomorrow, though. It's a day game. Swing and a miss. 0-2 to Dylan G, who's 0 for 16 this season.
I really don't want to see what the concern is. You've got the manager. You're the manager. You have the hammer. You have the pen. You know what? It's my lineup. It's what I want to do, and I'm going to win. I'm going to lose with it. And I've got 25 players that I have to try to count on, and I got to figure out a way to utilize all of them.
Tejada is more of a shortstop than Flores. Flores has made the transition this year to shortstop. Swing and a miss. Hamels picks up another strikeout. So 3 strikeouts overall for Cole, 2 in this inning. The Mets leave 1. We've played 2. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fan section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, boys, here's the question. Who were the three Mets pitchers to reach their 300th save while playing with the Mets? So they didn't get 300 saves with the Mets, but they picked up their 300th save when they were with the Mets. Answer will be revealed in just a little bit. Jamie has written down one answer. Matt has written down another, so they're looking for a third if anybody wants to come over and write it down for them. They have their three answers. Cole Hamels leads it off. Swings the first pitch. One out. Hey, not for nothing, but I like this style that Hamels has incorporated into his hitting. Going after the first pitch, at least until the other opposition realizes that he's swinging a lot at the first pitch, because he's probably going to get a lot of fastballs.
He is, but he's also going to make a lot of first pitch outs, which changes the approach for the second hitter.
Well, boys, the SNY guys are out in center field tonight televising this ball game between the Mets and the Phils.
I'll bet nobody out there tonight has a glove.
Gary Cohen, who's to your right with the glasses on, not to your left with the glasses, to your right with the glasses, did say he was not going to bring his glove out there. And Keith did say that he doesn't have a glove anymore. Ron Darling, who's in the middle, I believe still has a glove. They're out on the concourse area next to the bridge here at Citi Field. It's a beautiful view.
They're only about 485, 490 out there in right center.
I think they did. Yeah, they're about that. So they're not expecting a ball to come out that way.
Were you?
No. 2 outs. There has been a ball hit out toward that bridge area, though. They got a nice setup, though. They got the whole table and everything out there. They're not really soaking in the seats themselves. They have their basically moved their studio out there.
Well, Tom, the thing I don't enjoy about Cole swinging at the first pitch is getting a pitcher off the hook. You know, and it's just allowing him to maintain his tempo. As we saw, who was it last night? Cologne.
Yeah.
His first at bat, he saw 6 or 7 pitches. Never took the bat. He never took the bat off his shoulders, but he made AJ throw 6 pitches.
All right, I stand corrected.
I despise pitchers swinging at first pitch. Unless there's a man on third base with less than 2 outs, you are taking a strike.
Rollins lifts one to the air, deep to right field. Granderson going back. It's over his head, and it is gone! A home run for Jimmy Rollins, number 14 on the year. And the Phillies strike first on top 1-0.
You know, we talked about Ryan Howard having tremendous numbers versus Dylan G as well. Well, coming in today's game, he was 11 for 22. Jimmy Rollins was, that is, with a home run and 4 RBIs.
So 2 home runs. That makes a winner out of Audrey Perlman of Wynwood, Pennsylvania. Audrey, you didn't know this, but you are our McDonald's home run jackpot contestant. So you've just won $200. Hopefully that's a nice, pleasant surprise. 0-1 to Utley.
I also like it too as an 0-2 pitch. What do you think Dylan G's thinking right now?
Should have buried it.
Should have threw the heater.
1-1 to Utley, who grounded out his first time up.
I'm giving up an 0-2 home run. I'm cursing myself. You just can't do that. It's like a 2-out walk for me.
Off the hands of Utley. Granderson got a late jump, but it hangs up for him, and he makes the catch. The Phillies strike first. Jimmy Rollins, career hit number 2,271, and this was a pretty sweet swing. He grabbed it from the outside part of the plate, put it right over the fence. 375, 1-0 Phillies. Jefferson University Hospitals. Call 1-800-JEF now for an appointment. Buy WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. And buy Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Bottom of the third. Curtis Granderson will lead it off. I just want to give everybody a little insight on the Jeep Stump the Fans trivia question. The boys wrote down 3 answers, then scribbled a little bit, then wrote down another answer, scribbled, wrote down another one, and then checked off the first 3 that they wrote down.
We'll stick with the first 3.
Curtis Granderson swings at the 1-0 and fouls it back. It's 1-1. Not that I blame him, but there was a gentleman in a beautiful suit that was sizing up that foul ball. And at the last moment, after he had both hands out, ready to make a catch, he just backed off.
Scared her? He was a fly ball. That's why they make ice.
Or soda, like we saw earlier.
Yeah, poor gentleman.
That one's lined out to right field. Sizemore will take it on a couple of hops. Curtis Granderson's 2 for 2. And Daniel Murphy's coming up.
We talked about yesterday, the day before, about facing a left-hander, and it makes you stay in there a little longer. Granderson's been struggling. Maybe it's nice for him to see a left-hander right now and make him stay back and recognize the pitch a little bit longer.
Yeah, Granderson had been 3 for his last 27 before these 2 hits. Daniel Murphy takes a fastball for a strike, 0-1.
I'm also to the belief that when a left-hander faces a left-handed hitter faces a left-handed pitcher, he can hit the breaking ball, because otherwise he would not be in the lineup. I've always felt that. I've always thought that. I've faced a lot of left-handed hitters, and I know in my career, managers thought, well, it'll take the changeup away from him. Well, it did early in my career because I didn't have the ability to throw it lefty on lefty. But as I got into the middle and the latter part of my career, I learned how to throw that pitch in the lefties and away. But always felt that, even sometimes late in the game, you bring a left-handed specialist in.
Well, this will be 2. A nice feed by Utley and a good turn by Rollins. 4-6-3, 2 outs.
When you bring that left-handed specialist in and you leave your left-handed hitter in there, it's because he can hit the left-handed breaking ball.
Well, there is that breaking ball.
Well, and that curveball that Murphy just hit was set up with the 2 cutters that were away, getting him to cheat, thinking he had to start a little earlier, then throws in that curveball.
David Wright pulls one down the left field line. Dominic Brown turned the wrong way after he picked it up. I don't know if he would have gotten right anyway, but that's the 25th double of the year for David Wright.
And for me, that's where David Wright has always hurt the Phillies. When you couldn't get that double play and he came up with a man on, or the runner had just been moved over, he comes up early in the count, shoots the ball on the line, drives the ball through the gap. Here, pretty deep in the outfield. I don't think that he's going to be able to get to that ball and make an ever strong and accurate throw to second base going away from the play.
I think that's what he thought too.
Just didn't look like he had any momentum. He got to that ball and he stopped and he bent over and he picked it up. He had really no momentum to throw that ball back to second base.
That's because he picked it up on the wrong foot.
So we get a miss and a change up. 0-1. Campbell singled to right his first time up. He's 1 for 1. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. It's pretty good pitching right there by Hamels. 4 strikeouts through 3. No runs, 2 hits, a big double play. And Wright's left at second. We go to the 4th. The Phillies up 1-0. Swing Lines Fusion Laminators, a super fast, super easy way to laminate and protect your best work. Order yours today. From who? But W.B. Macy. Ryan Howard, Carlos Ruiz, Grady Sizemore are the scheduled hitters. As we go to the top of the 4th inning, Phillies up 1-0. Howard grounded out to second his first time up. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. Howard 0 for his last 8. There's that shift we talked about last night. Pretty standard on the right side. I do think Wright is shaded toward the middle a little bit more than most third basemen when they're playing on the left side of the diamond. I mean, they are daring him to hit it to the left side.
Or down the right field corner.
Yeah, or in the right field corner. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because Granderson's way over into the alley in right center. Look at that.
Granderson's probably playing 3 or 4 steps to the opposite field.
Three and 2 to Howard. Low, ball 4, and Howard draws a leadoff walk. Carlos Ruiz is coming up. It's time now for our Geico quote of the day. To go deep into a game, according to Dylan G, is mental endurance as much as it's physical. And sometimes when you haven't been able to do that in a while, it might tax you a little more. Hopefully, I'll start running out there deep in the game, get my endurance up, and it'll become a natural thing. Do you agree with that, Jamie? That it's a mental thing going deep into games?
No, it's about making quality pitches. Getting early contact, which he's been able to do today. And keeping your pitch count down. But the biggest thing is you got to stay aggressive. Stay aggressive with your stuff. and not being afraid to pitch to contact.
Terry Collins did say that Dylan G is on a pitch count. He would not divulge what that pitch count is. So he's made 3 starts. His earned run average 5.82 since coming off the DL. He said it's going to be over 100 pitches, but he said he doesn't know how far over 100 pitches it will be.
101.
Yeah.
102.
I think you just base it off the duress that the pitcher's under during the course of the game.
Carlos takes a high strike, 2-2.
This zone, I'm not sure if I figured. I'm not saying it's a bad zone, but it's all over the place. High strike, low strike. I'm not exactly sure where and if there's a consistency with it yet.
I think it forced Ruiz to swing at that pitch right there because it was close to the previous pitch.
And I thought the 3-2 pitch to Ryan Howard was very close.
Two balls, 2 strikes to Carlos, who singled his last time up. Breaking ball. Did he go? No. Carlos grounds it to the left side. This might be 2, even though it's hit slowly. And it will be 5-4-3. Well, here's Dylan G, the first inning, the first 3 batters. Basically threw all the pitches to get outs in the same location.
They're middle away, they're down, they have some movement. Here you see similar pitch right there that Jimmy hit, but that was a changeup. And an 0-2 count. Jimmy's going to be, he's got more of Jimmy's attention right there with 2 strikes.
2 outs here in the 4th. Grady Sizemore, the hitter. Sizemore takes outside.
You see a lot of his movement, though. It goes east to west. It's sideways. It's not. There's not a lot of depth to it, especially when it's down. You're looking for depth when that ball's down, so it makes it far more difficult for the hitter to get underneath that ball or to judge how to get underneath the ball.
Off the hands, and that'll find the seats over the Phillies dugout. One ball, 2 strikes to Grady Sizemore. In the air down the right field line. If it stays fair, it's gone. It is gone off the pole. Solo home run for Grady Sizemore, his first one with the Phils, and it's 2-0 Philadelphia. Not for nothing, but the pole got in the way of that ball. That ball was shot off the bat of Grady Sizemore.
And it was a pitch that was inside, supposed to be away. A little slider, slash slurve. You're right, Tom. That hit almost at the top of that foul pole.
Dominic Brown, shallow center field, coming on as Lagares. He's under it. And the Phillies are retired here in the 4th, but not before another home run, another solo shot for Grady Sizemore. It's his 3rd overall, but it's his 1st in the National League. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Phils on top 2-zip. Your local Delaware Valley Honda dealer or shophonda.com. By Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. By Budweiser, here's to Budweiser, here's to baseball. And by Chevrolet, visit your local dealer at chevydealer.com. 2 solo home runs. Phillies lead at 2-0. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Dylan G has surrendered 11 home runs now on the season. 26 last year. Chris Young takes strike 1.
Well, just to show you Cole's effectiveness so far in this game, he's got 13 out of 14 first pitch strikes. He's got 6.
That one's pulled down the left field line toward the corner. Dominic Brown makes the catch.
6-0-2 counts. And again, you know, his aggression, I think, is really helping him. Forcing the Mets to swing the bats. But you know, when you get 6-0-2 counts out of 14 headers, so 13 out of 14 first pitch strikes, whether they're swinging or not, early in the count, it's going to force them to swing the bats.
Travis d'Arnaud's the batter. Swing and a miss. Well, and after a very long first inning pitch count wise, he's kind of getting back into the right level as far as pitches go.
Yeah, he's at 54 pitches, 3 1/3 innings. I mean, it's not too bad.
Fly ball down the right field line. Sizemore over toward the corner, and he dropped it. It's a foul ball. Just not a lot of room out there. I mean, Sizemore will tell you that he gets his glove on it, he should make that catch, but it closes fast down there. Yeah, that was in and out of his glove. They could score that in error.
Yep.
Oh, and 2 to d'Arnaud. Hitting .302 since his return from the minor leagues. Now they have scored that a no play. That one's hit sharply to short to his left. Rollins. 2 outs. Lagar's coming up.
I find it interesting for a no play when it hits the guy's glove right in the middle of it. So
that's one of those, Matt, that makes you go. I think if you are going to score an error on one of those plays, that would be an error right there. That man's a former Gold Glover. Lagares, the hitter, 0-1. Make it 0-2.
And don't get me wrong, I'm glad he didn't get an error.
Yeah.
But it's the big leagues.
I don't. We're not talking about Grady. We're talking about the play.
The play, right?
You know what I mean? And you're right. It was in his glove. Should have caught it. He didn't. And usually when that happens, it's an error.
That ball's off the foot of Hamels. Look at him go, trying to get to it, and his throw off the hand of Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard nearly caught that ball barehanded. That would have been. Remember when Burley made that play a few years ago in foul territory? It was an opening day. That would have been in that world. Well, he may have been safe anyway, but that would have been incredible if they were able to pull this off. He would have been out.
He would have been out.
Yeah. I still don't know how Burley was able to do it. You know, we talk about him falling into foul territory. I think it was opening day for the White Sox several years ago. That was what people termed the play of the year, when Burley was able to get to the first base line, fall into foul territory, and somehow get the ball over to first base to Konerko.
It's an athlete. Pitchers are athletes.
Very good ones.
Whoa. You got a good night's sleep, huh? Matt just throwing out compliments today.
He's here. I gotta.
He?
You. Sorry, Jamie.
Could have been me. Murphy could have been you. Here's Wilmer Flores. It's 0-1. Could have been him. There's Bartolo.
But you notice when I said he, Jamie knew who I was talking about.
Yeah, I didn't think he meant me. Murph, did you think he meant you when he said he?
I was pretty certain he did not mean me.
Yeah, so we were pretty good. Mike, our
Murph,
camera operator up
Murph, I was
here.
watching you. You weren't even paying attention.
I heard you.
Mike, our camera operator up here, he thought he meant Jamie. Carl Graber, our statistician, did you think he meant you, Carl? When? No. All right.
And if I refer to Jamie, it'll be Mr. Moyer, out of respect.
Respect your elders, everyone. Respect your elders. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Wilmer Flores, who singled his first time up. Fighting that one off to stay alive.
How awesome would it be to have Murph, though, throw a helmet on right now and run some baseballs at the umpire?
It would be great.
I don't need a helmet.
Well, just to go incognito, you might.
I think this electric blue golf shirt would give me away.
One ball and 2 strikes to Flores. Another throw over. And Lagares is back. Roller left side. Ashe's going to cut it off. He'll go to first in time. Nice play by Cody Ashe. No runs, 1 hit. It was an infield hit. And 1 man left. 4 in the books. Cole Hamels scattered 6 hits and leads it. quiz answer. All right, boys, I know you wrote this down pretty quickly. You had a bunch of answers, but you did have the first three that you're going to go with. Who were the three Mets pitchers to reach their 300th career save while playing with the team?
I'm going to go with, how about this? We're going to go with John Franco.
John Franco is correct.
Isringhausen.
Jason Isringhausen came back to the Mets to get his 300th.
Mr. Billy Wagner.
Billy Wagner is correct. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. All right, you wrote down those three names first, and you did it fast. What were some of the other names that you wrote down there as under consideration, but that you didn't go with?
K-Rod.
K-Rod, that was a good one.
But I didn't know how to spell Rodriguez, so I scratched it out, and I accidentally put A-Rod down by mistake.
Oh, so that's the same guy that you wrote down twice?
Yeah.
Cody Ashley fouls it back. It's 1-2. Ashley grounded out to G his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Change up low, 2-2. Curveball low, 3-2 now. And Ashley's able to come from behind and work out a walk. Second walk issued by Dylan G. Well, the trade deadline is coming up in Major League Baseball, but that's not the only focus, Murph, of some Major League teams, including the Philadelphia Phillies, as we get closer to the trade deadline.
You're right, Tom. It was kind of a big morning in Clearwater this morning as the Phils had a private workout with a Cuban outfielder, Rusney Castillo, who a lot of folks around Major League Baseball are excited about. So Castillo worked out for the Phillies today in front of a large contingent in the Phillies front office as Cole lays down that bunt. Move Cody up to second base. And, you know, he's a power guy, an outfielder, but he's also a very speedy guy. Today, Ryan Sandberg was asked about him, and he said it's kind of a mix between Marlon Byrd and Yasiel Puig. And then one of the reporters asked, well, could you use a guy like that? And he just laughed. He said, who couldn't use a guy like that? So, you know, there's excitement around this guy. Now, certainly other teams are involved. He's going to work out on Friday for the Red Sox, and he's also going to work out for the Mariners later on in the week. But, you know, if you talk to people around baseball, they say the Phillies are very much in on this guy, and he's a guy that could be very close to being a Major League ready guy right away.
Well, and if you saw any of the photos of him, and there was no footage, I don't think, that it was on the internet or anything like that, but there were some photos. He's 5'9", a little over 200 pounds, but he is big, strength-wise. I mean, upper body-wise, he's not tall, but he's big, upper body-wise. He's 27 years old, and you know, you never know until you see these guys. Nobody knew that Abreu was going to be that kind of a power hitter in his first year. I don't think anybody knew Cespedes was going to be as good as he was. People anticipated that Puig could be, but you know, these guys haven't faced this competition, but they have faced competition.
Well, they've faced a lot of international baseball.
Revere slaps it the other way. Flores gets to it and then kicks it. And Ashley, I think, smartly stayed at second. And that'll be an infield hit for Ben Revere. They'll bring Jimmy Rollins to the plate. We don't know, as we said, whether Rusney Castillo is everything that people think he is. But it would be nice to have that sort of jolt. Let's say the White Sox got with Abreu, that the Dodgers got with Puig, that the Reds got with Chapman, and that the A's got with Cespedes.
Especially for a guy that maybe may not spend a whole lot of time in the minor league.
Sure.
I think that's where you're looking at the jolt.
Rollins takes way outside. It's 1-0.
But it's one of those guys too. You know, if you're going to sign him, that's kind of what you're expecting. You don't want to. You're not planning on waiting 3 or 4 years for the kid to develop.
Some people think that, you know, he could wind up with a team, an organization, within the next week. I guess so, if all the workouts are happening now.
Well, I thought I read something today that there's been teams already offering some contracts.
Yeah, I did see that report.
So But I've had a chance to play against Team Cuba many times in my career, and they take their baseball serious. Tremendous athletes, and the work habits they have over there are ridiculous.
And as we've seen with Puig, some can be very raw as far as the way they play the game, but talented. 1 ball, no strikes to Rollins. And he takes a strike, 1-1.
Matt, does it make you want to have a workout? Call for a workout?
Me workout?
Yeah.
Oh, God, no.
Call some teams, have a workout?
No.
You have to get your sneakers out.
I have to get a bigger size pants, too, and a jersey.
As long as you got a bat.
Breaking ball, 2-1.
I'll throw you some BP. I did it for 25 years.
I'm good.
Come on.
Might take some days to stretch, though.
I want to see Murph take some batting practice at home.
He's a cyclist. He can't hit a baseball. Murph, can you hit a baseball?
I want to do that. I'm in. Let's do it.
Let's do it tomorrow. A day game.
No, this field's too big.
Yeah, it would hurt everybody's ego.
Yeah, let's do it at home. Give us a chance.
2-1 to Rollins. Check swing, foul ball, just past Utley, 2-2. I was at a Little League field in South Jersey today. Let's do it there.
Williamsport, here we come.
Yeah. Rollins homered his last time. He's 1 for 2. 14 home runs for Rollins. It's his 8th year with at least 14 home runs. Pulls that one foul. We showed you the splits a moment ago. His numbers this year compared to last year. He's certainly hitting for more power.
Did it right there. Again, an 0-2 count. I like Jimmy's aggressiveness there in that type of situation. I think Jimmy's very comfortable swinging the bat here at Citi Field here in New York.
Fouls it back to our left. Popped him up. Wilmer Flores, the shortstop, 2 steps onto the grass. Infield fly rule has been called. Batter is automatically out, and they're 2 away. And Chase Utley will be coming up. Phillies have the top 3 home run hitters, active home run hitters against the Mets. Howard is first at 40. Utley is second at 31. And then Jimmy Rollins is right behind Chase now at 29 with his home run tonight.
Be nice to see Utley get out in front of a pitch right here and hit one down into his corner, the Utley corner down the right field.
1 ball, no strikes. Would be nice to kind of open a game up, wouldn't it?
It would.
Breaking ball, and it's 2-0. Off the end of the bat, out to shallow center field. Coming on is Lagares. And he makes the catch. So the Phillies leave a couple here in the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. Middle of the 5th. Cole Hamels still nursing a 2-run lead. Brought to you by Citizens Bank. Since 1984, the City of Philadelphia Mural Arts Program has united artists and communities to transform our city's neighborhoods through the creation of vibrant works of art. Find out how to bring art to your neighborhood at muralarts.org. Good banking is simple, clear, and personal, and that's helping you bank better. Citizens Bank, good banking is good citizenship. Bottom half of the fifth inning, Dylan G leads it off against lefty Cole Hamels. G struck out his first time up. Hamels has struck out 4. First pitch fastball in there. Just below the knees. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5 for Hamels. Good location on that pitch. On Friday, August 22nd, the Phillies will welcome in the St. Louis Cardinals. Game 1 of a 3-game series. It wraps up on Sunday the 24th at 1:35. The ShopRite Back to School Gym Bag. Free to fans 14 and under. You get a glimpse of that gym bag right there. Tickets can be purchased anytime by going to Phillies.com. Start him young. Get him a hobby. Granderson takes a strike, 0-1. Well, he's pumping strikes now.
Matt, when a pitcher's working this quick, how does that affect you at the plate?
I mean, you have to slow down. You have to take your time. One, getting in the batter's box. Cole has such a good rhythm working right now. You feel rushed when you step in the batter's box. As soon as you come set and get your hands up to hit, he's already got a sign in his book to deliver. So, as a hitter, you want to step out, fix your batting gloves a little bit. Take your time. Get him off his rhythm.
Yeah, Granderson's got sort of the same kind of pace that Hamels does. Out toward left field, Dominic Brown. Oh, it's off the end of the bat. Dominic makes the one-handed catch for the second out. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire the opposition 1-2-3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Now, Cole hasn't done that yet. Comcast, where Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Daniel Murphy's 0 for 2. And it's 0-1 to him.
There's what makes that changeup so nasty, that you can throw it down and into a lefty like that. Out of his hand, I guarantee you David Murphy thought that was a fastball. And he swung at it like it was a fastball.
Well, now Hamels is ahead 0-2.
I mean, you watch Cole on the mound tonight. The confidence he's exuding is phenomenal. Here you see his ball strike ratio, pretty phenomenal, 61-16.
It's kind of like his last time out. Remember his last time out, he was at 40 strikes, 10 balls at one point, and then as he got closer to 100 pitches, it was like 101 pitches, or excuse me, 99 pitches and like 24 balls. Ground out to shortstop. We should say 89 strikes. 1-2-3 inning. The first one of the night for Cole Hamels. Done a heck of a job so far. The Phillies have hit 2 solo home runs. We'll see if they can get some more when we come back with the 6th. Philly of the Week is also the 2014 Phillies Heart and Hustle Award winner. The only award in Major League Baseball that is given by former players is awarded to those who demonstrate a passion for the game of baseball and best embody the values, spirit, and traditions of the game. Roy Halladay said of Chase, he plays the game for all the right reasons. We couldn't agree more. And Utley's newest honor is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, Chase Utley is always a good choice for our Philly of the Week. We might have to start thinking about Cole Hamels to get that award. The way Hamels has been pitching, he's got back-to-back victories in which the Phillies won 2-1, and they lead 2-0 here as we start the top of the 6th. Ryan Howard walked his last time up. He's 0 for 1. And he hits that foul toward the upper deck over the third base dugout, and it's 0-1. Ball came back 0-2 to Ryan Howard. It's a good pitch from Dylan G. And Howard has struck out on 3 pitches. One gone here in the 6th. Carlos Ruiz is coming up. Let's check in with Murph. Murph?
All right, thanks, Tom. Well, it's time now for our Coors Light Cold Hard Fact, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. And last night, Marlon Byrd and Carlos Ruiz had 4 hits apiece. That made them the first pair of teammates since 1984 to do that in a game where the team scored 1 run or less. The previous 2 to do that, Rod Carew and Fred Lynn for the Angels in a 2-1 loss to the Oakland A's back then in 1984, guys.
Yeah, there were some remarkable things that happened in last night's game. 13 hits for the Phils, 11 singles, 2 doubles. It's the 3rd time the Mets have allowed 13 hits or more and 1 run in their history. 73 against the Expos and 95 against the Phillies. Ryan Sedberg said after the game, and he reiterated it today when we were chatting. He said, yeah, it'd been nice to mix in a few more extra base hits in those 13. Carlos Ruiz made sure his team wasn't shut out with an RBI double. Three balls, 1 strike to Ruiz. Off the end of the bat. It's time now for you to tweet your photo using hashtag PhillyFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T. We'll show one a little later on. And we'll continue to do so as the season moves on. Scouts are aplenty again. Not a surprise. of the scouts down there is Jim Beattie, a former pitcher. Pitched for the Yankees, Seattle too, right, Jamie?
Yes, he did.
1 ball and 1 strike. Was the general manager, I believe, of the Orioles at one point. Sizemore rolls over on one to Murphy at second base. A strikeout and 2 ground outs, and the Phillies are retired in order, and they're half of the 6th. So Dylan G gets only his second 1-2-3 inning of the night. Toyota take you. Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. Buy McDonald's. Any size hot or iced coffee is just $1. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And buy the Pennsylvania Lottery. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Along with Matt Stairs, Jamie Moyer, and Greg Murphy, I'm Tom McCarthy. We go to the bottom of the 6th here in New York, where the Phillies lead the Mets 2-0. Most Mets. Wearing their orange jerseys. They wear these from time to time. They had a mariachi band playing before and even during the game here tonight. Right, pops the first pitch up over toward the Mets dugout, and that'll play. I was pretty jacked up about getting that baseball. He went around, and it's 0-2. In the dirt, 2-2. Hamels has gone 7 innings or more in 13 of his 15 starts. Curveball and a call, strike 3. 6 strikeouts for Hamels. Honestly, I was wondering what Jordan Baker was waiting for. I thought it looked like a really good pitch. He was going Hollywood a little bit.
I think he was observing it himself. It took him a little while.
Right on the plate. Jordan Baker's behind the plate today. Jerry Meals, the crew chief, at first. Rollins to his left. 2 outs. Catch all the second half action on MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. Visit Phillies.com for details. Chris Young took his sweet old time getting to the plate because Hamels has 2 fast outs here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch strikes. He's dominated tonight. 21 of 23 first pitch strikes. Inside, 1-1.
It looks like Cole has a lot of Mets hitters guessing right now.
Yeah.
And they've been guessing wrong.
He checked his swing on that pitch. Jamie, what does his 2-seamer do that his other pitches don't?
It's got a little run to it, a little run away from, you know, if it throws it into the right hander, it'll run back a little bit. If it throws it away from the right hander, it'll run away from him.
There's a changeup, so it has that kind of action. Maybe that's what makes it so difficult. Second straight 1, 2, 3 innings, 7 in a row retired by Hamels. 7 strikeouts as well. Now for your local Honda dealers game summary. Tonight it's Cole Hamels, and more Cole Hamels. He's helped out by Jimmy Rollins and Grady Sizemore, each having solo home runs. Hamels 7 strikeouts over 6 innings. Dylan G's allowed 2 earned runs over 6. He'll go to work here at the top of the 7th with the Phils up 2-0. Dominic Brown will lead it off. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Too quickly to Dominic Brown. Dominic is 0 for 2. He reached on an error his first time up and flied to center. Breaking ball just missed outside. Stayed with that one and drags it into center field, a base hit. Nice job by Dominic to keep his hands back a little bit. And that'll bring Cody Ashley to the plate.
Now that base hit by Dominic Brown, that's why it's so important, especially guys who are tall and have the leverage, long arms, to make sure even if your body is going away from home plate towards first base, keep your hands back, because your hands can stay through the zone so long. You know, for guys who are shorter, you try to let the ball get deep, and if we get fooled, we get out and we do that weak ground ball to first base. But with guys who have that long leverage, and as you can see, he's leaking early, but his hands are staying through the zone longer that way, and gives you an opportunity to hit the ball up the middle with 2 strikes.
Pitch outside, 2-0. Yeah, that shot right there, that showed it perfectly. Cody tapped one back to the mound his first time up. He walked his last time. Runner goes. Pitch is looped out to left. And the catch is made by Chris Young. Back to first goes Dominic Brown. And Cole Hamels will be up. Hamels had to sacrifice his last time up. Pretty good chance he's going to be sacrificing again here with the runner at first. And he deadens it in front of the plate. Wright says he has it. Before Wednesday's game, which is tomorrow, Marshall Harris talks with Grady Sizemore about battling back from numerous injuries to get back to the big leagues. And we'll join Jimmy Rollins as he helps local families learn about the benefits of healthy eating. Don't miss Phillies Clubhouse, presented by Mercedes-Benz, 11 a.m. Wednesday on Comcast Sportsnet. Phillies pregame live will follow at 11:30, and it's a 12:10 first pitch tomorrow afternoon. Josh Edgen is the lefty warming up in the pen. Breaking ball, 0-1. Phillies trying to end this 4-game losing streak against New York. That is a foul ball. In fact, the Phillies are 3-11 in the last 14 games against the Mets. This year, Ryan Sandberg's watched the Mets average about 5.5 runs per game in the games against the Phils. One ball, 2 strikes.
How many news on Dana Evelyn? Probably good.
X-rays were negative, and he was out throwing today. Actually,
I didn't hear anything this afternoon. I figured you did.
Yeah, the X-rays. They took X-rays during the game last night. He is bruised. Revere's hit by a pitch, and that'll put runners on first and second. They actually said today that he probably could have continued last night, but they just didn't want to take a chance just because it hit the point of that elbow. There is Dana Evelyn last night with Revere up. Rollins 1 for 3. He has one of the 2 solo home runs for the Phillies tonight. And that one went right past d'Arnaud. Brown goes to third. Revere goes to second. That is a wild pitch. It's the first one of the year for Dylan G. Was he expecting a different pitch, or he just didn't see it?
That is what you call a good old cross-up right there.
Oh, yeah.
He's waiting for it to break, and it was a good old two-seamer.
Umpire's probably pretty thankful right now that he was set up inside. Base hit could give the Phils a 4-0 lead. Rollins takes outside, 2-0. Curveball. Another curveball outside, 3-1. d'Arnaud wanted to buy that one. So this is a no play. This is a wild pitch. Well, two different spots in the field. And there's ball 4. Rollins is aboard. And the bases are now loaded for Chase Utley. Terry Collins looks like he's going to make a double switch here, folks. Has the lineup card heading out. So he's going to bring in Edgin. And it looks like Eric Young Jr. is going to come in to play left field for Chris Young. So a pitching change, a new outfielder. We'll let you know who is in both spots when we return to Citi Field. The game.
And these sure are nice pitches. All part of the defensive side for the Phillies tonight. Cutter in, a changeup away, and here a really nice curveball for a double play. 4-6-3. Those are the Hyundai defensive plays of the game.
Yeah, it's all part of what has been a great night for Cole Hamels. He has scattered 6 hits and has been in total command. Meanwhile, Dylan G is done after going 6 2/3. He leaves with the bases loaded. And those runners are his responsibility. Eric Young Jr. comes into the game. He'll bat 9th. Josh Edgin will bat 5th. So Edgin 1-0 with an ERA of 1.59 on to face Chase Utley. Utley's 0 for 3. He's grounded out. He's flied out. First pitch inside, 1-0. Outstanding batting average. Utley has basically an RBI per at bat with the bases loaded during his career. I don't think he thought that was a strike, Matt.
Well, I've been watching Chase the last couple of at bats, and his takes have been different. He's really concentrating on getting that upper body turned in and getting that over top of home plate because he's been pulling off the ball a little bit.
Outside, 2-1.
Especially versus left-handers, it's so important to keep that right shoulder in there as long as possible. And you can see that take right there he just took. That shoulder leaks and starts going towards second base, and that means you have an in-out swing.
Two balls and 2 strikes. The bases are loaded here at the top of the 7th. And Utley fouls it over the third base dugout. And it remains 2-2. Terry Collins realizes his team is still within reach here. He's trying to limit any additional scoring. Ryan Sandberg's looking for that clutch hit with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. He stayed in on that breaking pitch, and it remains 2-2. Here's to Budweiser. Here's to baseball. Utley hits one in the air, deep to right field. Granderson going back. It is gone! Grand slam, Chase Utley into the porch in right field, and the Phillies take a 6-0 lead. I do believe he stayed in against the left-hander.
I do believe you're 100% right. And this is just a pitch right in his wheelhouse. Keeps his head down, shoulder in, short to the ball. Grand slam.
5 grand slams for Chase Utley in his career. The last one, September of 2010 against the Rockies. Home run number 9. He has 54 runs batted in. 6-0 New York, or excuse me, Philadelphia here in the top of the 7th inning. Man, was that a sweet swing. Two balls, no strikes to Ryan Howard. Up and in, 3-0. Rollins has hit a solo home run. Now Utley, those 3 guys right there. Sizemore, Utley, and Rollins, each with homers tonight. Howard pulls that one into the shifts. And he's thrown out by Murphy. But the Phils strike again. A grand slam by Chase Utley into the porch in right field. Above and over from Utley's corner. 6-0 Phillies as we stretch here at Citi Field. All right, John, thank you very much. Chase Utley's grand slam has given the Phils a 6-0 lead. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Travis d'Arnaud will lead it off. d'Arnaud takes a pitch outside. Well, so much for a lack of run support. Jamie, it's time to front run now for Cole Hamels.
Yeah, it gives Cole a little bit of breathing room. And he shouldn't be able to sail right through this game. But again, you need to maintain your focus, and you got to work one pitch, one hitter at a time.
And even though it is 6-0, and I might be totally wrong, but you still have to take the approach to the 2-0 game.
Well, he's been so sharp while it has been 2-0. That's low. 3-0 now to Travis d'Arnaud. d'Arnaud is 0 for 2. He is struck out and grounded out to short. So last night, Jeff Baker capped a come-from-behind victory for the Miami Marlins. As that pitch is over, it's 3-1. Where the Nationals, they felt like they had that game well under control. Three and 2. Three balls, 2 strikes to Travis d'Arnaud. Out towards center field, playable for Ben Revere, and he makes the catch. So after being behind 3-0, Hamels is able to come back. All right, Matt, so this is where he stayed in. Oh, man.
Yeah, and there was a fastball running in a little bit, 2-seamer inner half. And if he, like I said before, if he pulls that shoulder out just a little bit towards first base, it's a rollover. But he keeps his shoulder in there so long, and he has such a short swing and reacts to the ball. And that's why he's been able to hit balls that are way inside and keep him fair down the right field corner. Well, that time he just got extended and drove it out of the ballpark.
Jamie, I would think that's frustrating if you're edging, because he had made some good pitches before and he fouled some off, obviously, and you kind of miss, and Chase is able to stay in on it.
Yeah, it is frustrating, but you know, facing a guy like Chase Utley, he's just not going to roll over and at bat. And I think Edgin would have liked to have gotten that first pitch that was borderline for a strike. He got the second one, which evened the count to 1-1. But then Chase fouled off a couple balls away, and Edgin made a mistake in the big part of the play.
No balls, 2 strikes to Lagares. Had a fastball upstairs. Well, for that home run and for the other 2 hit tonight, 1 tree will be planted by the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society as part of Home Runs for Trees. Partnership between the Phillies, PHS, and Aramark. Home Runs for Trees is part of a project to restore the region's tree coverage. Go to Phillies.com/red-goes-green. Back-to-back fly balls, one to the right center field gap, the other one to the left center field gap for Cole Hamels.
You know, and the last thing I'll say about the bat with Chase before the home run is he fouled off a couple of pitchers' pitches. So pitches away, fouled off the left side, and now all of a sudden Edgerton decides he's going to try to throw that 2-seamer inside. And like Jamie said, he leaves it out over the middle of the plate, and now the damage is done. That's why he has tremendous numbers with power, bases loaded, because he can fight off pitches to get the one he wants.
And he's such a focused hitter, and we all know that. But it seems like that focus tightens even more with the bases loaded. 1 ball, no strikes to Wilmer Flores. That one's popped up around the second base bag. Utley makes the call. Hamels is all smiles as he walks off the mound. Well, he was a moment ago, because he has 3 straight 1-2-3 innings. He's retired 10 in a row as we go to the 8th. Get to your local Nissan store for the ride of your life and save big today. Buy AT&T, mobilizing your world. And buy the Quality Plus Ford stores. Go further. Top of the 8th inning. It's been a nice night for the Phillies. They've been able to enjoy the pitching of Cole Hamels, and they've also hit 3 home runs in tonight's game. Buddy Carlisle will take over for New York. This is his 6th ball game. 1 win, a 1.29 ERA. This is the day after the Phillies had 13 hits in last night's game. Scored 1 run. Of those 13 hits, 11 were singles. We were hoping to mix in an extra base hit last night, and they get a few here tonight. There's Carlos Ruiz, who's 1 for 3. First pitch is over, 0-1. Campbell will give that a peek, but it's out of play, and it's 0-2. d'Arnaud. Not a lot of room behind home plate. It'll be Ruiz, Sizemore, Dominic Brown against Buddy Carlisle. Up and in, 1-2. Doesn't seem like he's going anywhere. He's got a 6-0 lead. Looks like he's getting ready to go out and pitch the bottom of the 8th.
Well, the big thing in a game like this is to try and stay focused on what you have to do, and especially even with a 6-run lead, you don't want to go out and walk a leadoff man, give up a couple hits. They put a couple hits together, all of a sudden they're back in the game.
Nice play by Daniel Murphy for the first out here in the top of the 8th. I guess that goes to Matt's point. And Jamie, you know this better than anybody. Kind of think that it's a 2-0 game, even though it's 6-0, and just try to keep that focus as tight as possible.
Well, you start playing games with yourself and you say, all right, I've got, men on second and third, or men on third, nobody out. You can keep, challenge yourself in those ways.
Well, we talk about the ball strike ratio. Last time he was around 90 strikes and just a handful of balls. Tonight it's pretty close to the same ratio. He's only thrown 25 pitches out of the strike zone. No balls and 1 strike to Sizemore. And it's 0-2.
And as a hitter, you have to take the same approach. It's like a 2-0 game. Too many times in baseball, and I did it many times, you give at bats away depending on the score. You change your approach.
Yeah, I've heard you say that before, that whether it be a 6-0 deficit or a 6-0 lead, there are at bats that you wished you had back.
Yep.
And a called strike 3. Sizemore, I think, thought it was a strike after it went by, but was just hoping that Jordan Baker wasn't going to punch him out. And now 2 outs for Dominic Brown. Murph, time for the Major League Notebook.
It is indeed, Tom. Brought to you by Gwinnett Mercy University. And while the Colorado Rockies await the return of Troy Tulowitzki, they got a little offensive boost today, activating Justin Morneau. The slugger had been dealing with a sore neck, but had an MRI yesterday that looked very good. So they had 1 rehab start last night and has been reactivated for the Colorado Rockies. 312, 13 home runs, 60 RBIs already for Justin Morneau this year. And guys, I don't know if a whole lot of people outside of Miami would have predicted this at this time of the season, but it appears that the Marlins believe that they are in this playoff race and are going to be buyers at the trade deadline rather than sellers. According to several reports, they have contacted the Boston Red Sox about John Lester and his availability. They certainly have a lot of prospects that they could deal if they wanted to. They've won 8 of their last 10 games, guys, that are only 4.5 games out of the wild card. So they think that they are very much in this thing and may acquire. They're also looking for a second baseman as well, but they would love to get like a top-line starter if they could to help them with this push in the NL East.
Yeah, they're leading Washington as we speak in the 7th inning, 1-0. Washington is without Ryan Zimmerman and Jason Worth. Jason's been banged up, so they win tonight. They'll continue to cut into that first-place lead. And depending on what the other teams in the other divisions have done wild card-wise, yeah, I would think it's legitimate that they're still in the race. Why not, right?
And why not go out and get a Lester? And if he puts you over that hump to get you some more wins, to get closer to getting into the playoffs, so be it. If it doesn't work out, you got the August trade deadline you can do and try to move him then.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Dominic Brown. And he fouls it away. Now, Lester is due to be a free agent. So that's what you have to weigh if you're the Marlins. Do they want to give up all those prospects? Because they obviously are building from within. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Buddy Carlisle. The Mets retire the Phillies in order. Here at the top of the 8th, Cole Hamels about to go back to work, leading at 6-0. Monday, August 11th, will the Phillies wrap up their 4-game series against the New York Mets. All fans will receive the Citizens Bank Pride of the Phillies print featuring Jimmy Rollins and Mike Schmidt. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Eric Young will lead it off here in the 8th inning for the Mets. He takes strike one, 0-1. First at bat for Young, hitting .231 with a home run and 12 RBIs. Last 3 starts, 26 strikeouts in 22 innings. I mean, those numbers are staggeringly good. 1 walk. That's it.
I'd take that.
They're just not seeing the ball out of his hand.
I mean, this is vintage Cole from 2008 right here, what we've been seeing his last 11 starts. Really.
Got him. Blew it right by him. At least it seemed like he did. That's 8 strikeouts for Hamels. Boy, he is closing strong.
And as a pitcher, these are the types of games you just don't want them to end. It's fun. I mean, he may not be showing it outwardly, but inside he's having a blast because he's got control of everything. He's got control of his emotions. He's got control of his pitches, control of the game. He's got the tempo of the game in his hand. He's just competing.
What a hopper out to Howard. The other thing he's doing, Jamie and Matt, is he's competing quickly as far as his pitch counts go. Let's talk about how much he struggled in that first inning pitch count wise. You look at his pitches per inning, look, 25, and really, I guess you'd say 17 in the 5th is kind of high, but after that, nothing.
When you talk to him tomorrow and say, you think you can pitch today? And I'm sure he'll say, yeah, I believe I can.
Daniel Murphy's 0 for 3. And he takes outside 1-0. Ground ball right side. Boy, he is just eating up these Mets hitters. He's retired 13 straights. An easy 8th inning. We'll go to the 9th with the Phillies on top 6-0. Great giveaway. The Phillies will start the next homestand with. It's Friday, August 8th, when they take on the New York Mets. Actually, it's the first of that 4-game series after the Astros are in town. All fans will receive the Roy Halladay Bobble figurine, compliments of Toyota. It's the start of a great weekend of games and great ceremonies over the weekend, including Charlie Manuel's induction into the Wall of Fame. Well, we think Cole Hamels is done. Bob McClure was on the phone. He wasn't ordering pizza.
He was getting a call from the president.
Ryan Sandberg was congratulating Hamels. He had his lineup card out.
For Prime Minister.
Yeah, she will lead it off. Did you ever talk to the Prime Minister of your country?
Nope.
No?
I did when it was the female.
Oh, yeah?
I don't remember what her name was, but...
You knew when you talked to her, though.
Met her in Japan.
0-2. Swing and a miss. Ashley is struck out. Carlisle 4 up, 4 down.
I want to talk to the mayor in Toronto, Ford.
You want to give him a piece of your mind, or you want to laugh with him?
Laugh with him.
Kenny Giles is warming up. Reed Brignac is pinch hitting. Brignac 254 with a home run and 10 runs batted in. Fouls it away, 0-1. I don't know what it is tonight. The foul balls have been bouncing every which way into the crowd. That one started up in the 3rd level and made its way down to the 1st level. 0-1 pitch. Outside. 1-1 to Brignac. Little guy's pretty excited about getting that baseball. Up high, 2-2. It is odd seeing people wearing sweatshirts out in the crowd at the end of July. See that young guy wearing that sweatshirt underneath his t-shirt jersey. And it's smart to do it. The temperatures are in the high 60s right now. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Great weather to pitch in.
Yeah, you just don't expect this. Swing and a miss. 4 straight strikeouts for Buddy Carlisle. Oh, we mentioned earlier, it's time now for our AT&T fan photo of the game. This one comes from 613 Creative. And it's a selfie with a really cool mustache. Tweet your photo to hashtag Philly fan photo for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. Two outs. Ben Revere is the batter. Revere fouls it back. And it's 0-1. Ben scored a run tonight. He's 1 for 3, hit by a pitch in the 7th. Down the left field line, and it slices out of play.
You look back into that 7th inning when Ben was hit by that pitch.
Yeah.
That opened it up. I mean, Brown was off the single. Fly out to left, sack bunt, 2-out man on second base. Then all of a sudden you get hit by a pitch and then a base on balls.
Yeah, I think your point about it being 2 outs too. I mean, that was huge, and it hit the front of his jersey. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, an update down in Baltimore where the Angels and Orioles are tied at 6. Josh Hamilton has 3 RBIs tonight for the Angels. Orioles are in first place in the East. The Angels in second place in the West. Revere checks his swing, no appeal. Out toward left center. Young was playing way over toward the line. That would be where the left fielder normally would be. And Revere's going to get himself a 2-base hit with 2 outs. Oh, so much for the charts. They work a lot of times. Sometimes you're in the wrong spot.
And he's going back over in the same position with Jimmy Rollins hitting.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that with Rollins up there. Now he's going to take a little stroll.
But he's still playing 15,
yeah, he is.
20 steps opposite.
Rollins is homered tonight. He's walked, scored twice. He was on when Utley hit a grand slam. 47 runs batted in, 55 runs scored for Rollins. Out toward left center field. Young on the run. Boy, he is quick though. He was able to close, track that one down. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left for the Phillies. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. All that's left is for Kenny Giles to come on and close the door. Mason delivery of the game here at Citi Field. Well, the deliveries tonight for the Phils. Some long balls, Jamie.
Yeah, Jimmy Rollins gets a changeup away, deposits it into right field. Grady Sizemore gets a slider down and in, deposits it down the right field line, and Chase gets a fastball out over the plate, deposits it in the upper deck in right field. For 3 home runs to right field for those who are W.B. Mason's deliveries of the game.
Isn't it amazing what a difference a night makes? You know, the Phillies have 7 hits tonight. They had 13 last night, and they have 6 runs, all on home runs.
When you get the hits when it counts, when there's guys on base, it makes it. I believe it makes a big difference. You know, when you're getting a lot of singles, there's nothing wrong with singles, but you got to somehow generate a few more hits to get those guys in. And when you don't have many extra base hits with those guys on base, it's hard to do that.
Well, here's Ken Giles. He's on to pitch the 9th inning. Cole Hamels, 8 innings, 6 hits, no runs, no walks, 8 strikeouts. Guys, it's the first time since August 14, 2006 that Cole Hamels has worked a scoreless game against the New York Mets.
Is that his first outing against the Mets, possibly?
First outing against the Mets. I mean, we talk about his numbers. He was 7-14 coming in against them. I mean, this is as good as we've seen him
against the Mets.
Against the Mets. This has been a tremendous stretch, though.
I liken it to the 2008 playoff series. You know, all 3 rounds.
Oh, yes. Yep. How dominant he was.
He was pretty lights out there, too.
David Wright leads it off against Giles. First pitch fastball, foul tipped. And it's 0-1. That was 97 according to our gun, and the gun here. That ball looked like it was jumping. One ball, 1 strike. Wright is 1 for 3, doubled back in the 3rd. At that point, it was a 2-0 game. Phillies have Diekman and Bastardo both throwing in the pen. Kind of interesting.
Might be just to get a little work in.
Could be.
A little touchy-feely.
Yeah, last night was obviously Hollins and Almont. Swing and a miss. David Wright, let us introduce you to Kenny Giles' slider. 9 strikeouts for Phillies pitching. And Eric Campbell is the batter.
The thing about that slider is that it starts, I would say, a couple inches for a strike, and it breaks 4 or 5 inches just out of the strike zone. So usually you see those big sliders that have the 14 to 16 inch break. Well, his slider breaks so late that majority of the time you think, and he took a swing like that like it was a fastball. That's how tight the rotation is and how tight the slider is.
But again, we've talked about this. That's the surprising thing to me. You know, we heard so much about his fastball. People mentioned he had a slider, but I got the feeling that it was kind of a show me slider, but it's not.
I think it's surprising what he's doing with the slider to the whole organization right now. Because the talk on him in spring training was he could not control the slider for strikes.
Right.
Had no command, and he was just a power pitcher. Well, what we've seen so far, 2014, we've seen a power arm with a devastating slider.
0-2 pitch to Campbell. Fastball hit foul. Series wraps up tomorrow afternoon, and then the Phillies are off to Washington for a 4-game set. Oh-2 pitch. Check swing. Wow. That was pretty close. Boy, that was really close.
Too close to take.
I'm surprised he was able to hold.
It was by him.
Pulls that one through the hole on the left side. Base hit. Well, at least for this outing, that's the first slider that he hung up a little bit. And Bobby Abreu will pitch in. Bobby's 0 for his last 20. Overall hitting .242, a home run, 14 runs batted in. Career numbers with the 2,000 hits, 288 home runs, 0-1. Phillies have enjoyed their first 3 home run games since the 7th of June. That's a long time for a team that in 08, 09, 2010 it seemed like they had 3 home run games once or twice every couple of weeks. Now the 1-1 pitch coming to Abreu. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pulls that one. Diving stop, Ryan Howard. He'll take it to the bag. Nope, he'll flip to Giles covering at the bag. 3-1 on the putout. That's a nice play by Ryan Howard. Coming up after the ballgame, Ben Davis is going to break down Cole Hamels' 8 innings tonight on Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Again, that's coming up right after this final out is recorded by Ken Giles. Ruiz went out to the mound just to give Giles a breather.
Davis has a layup tonight. All he has to do is push redial, right?
Well, if he goes back to Cole's last start.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to have to mix in an Utley grand slam here and there tonight, don't you think? Rollins home run. He's got to mix in a little offense tonight.
I think he'd be more than happy to do that.
0-1 to Travis d'Arnaud. Listen to us producing Phillies postgame live. Fastball hit foul. It's 0-2. 0-2 pitch coming to d'Arnaud. And he lifts it in the air to shallow right field. Grady Sizemore comes running in, and that will do it. Cole Hamels, Kenny Giles combine on the 7-hit shutout as the Phillies take Game 2 over the Mets 6-0. A dazzling effort tonight by Cole Hamilton.